John, how you doing?
Doing great, man. Doing great. Hashtag excited about church today. Hashtag NRCC. Hashtag best church in the world. Hashtag ready for Jim to bring it.
Hey, awesome worship this morning, man. For real. Like I was into it for real. Hi.
Hashtag cute little girl.
Thank you. Hashtag that's mine.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I love those songs, man. And hashtag Amy is so good. Hashtag how great is the Lord. Hashtag she really knocked it out of the park today.
She did.
Yeah, she did. Hey, speaking of knocking it out of the park, did you happen to catch any World Series? Hashtag Red Sox and Cardinals. Hashtag who even wears Red Sox?
Well, yes, I watched it, in fact, and David Ortiz was absolutely amazing. He was awesome. Hashtag MVP. Hashtag Big Poppy. Hashtag nicknames. Hashtag I love it when you call me Big Pop Pop.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you. Throw your hands in the air. Yeah. Good stuff. He was great, man. He was great. You know,
Hey, I brought you some cookies. I forgot. Yeah, my wife made them.
Oh, yeah.
Hashtag best wife ever I've ever had. Hashtag only wife I've ever had. Hashtag pay attention during the Vow series.
Oh, way to go, man. Way to go. Dude, these are great. Hashtag delicious. Hashtag fudgerific. Hashtag cookie monster. Hashtag nom 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 nom.
Hashtag Betty Crocker who?
Yeah. Hold those. Thanks. Yeah, World Series, man. That was awesome. I was thinking, how cool would it be to actually see a game in Boston? Hashtag Fenway Park. Hashtag best fans in baseball. Hashtag Sweet Caroline. Ba ba ba. Good times never felt so good. So good, so good, so good. Oh,
That felt good.
that's a classic.
Hashtag that felt good.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Hey, but now that baseball's over, I guess we can actually focus on football a little bit. Did you happen to see any of the Vols game last night? Hashtag Ludwig Orange. Hashtag Butch Jones. Hashtag brick by brick. Hashtag be patient with the process.
I did watch the game. Hashtag tough loss. Hashtag tough season. Hashtag tough decade. Hashtag sad face.
You're right. You're right. It's rough, but I am excited about what we're seeing from the new quarterback. Hashtag kid has potential. Hashtag Dobbs is the new Manning.
Hashtag Butch, please.
Hashtag
Oh, but how about some high school football? Did you watch any of that? Science Hill finally beating Dobbins Bennett after all these years. Oh, baby. Hashtag 19 years. Hashtag the streak is over. Hashtag Topper Nation. Hashtag did put him in a TP, did burn him. Hashtag we stopped the chop.
Not cool, man. Not cool. You know I taught there for like 9 years.
Where's DB?
Yeah. Hashtag JK. Hashtag it's all good. Hashtag oh no. Hashtag I still love football.
I love football too, man. I'm excited. Hashtag pumped up. Hashtag November to remember. Hashtag pigskin. Hashtag pigs. Hashtag red pig barbecue.
Yes.
Hashtag pigskin again. Hashtag pigs again. Hashtag pig says zoink. Hashtag cow says moo. Hashtag what does a fox say? Hashtag
Hotty ho. Hotty
hashtag what does a fox say?
Hey, this is going to take like 2 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hashtag it's over, hashtag it's my turn, hashtag get off the stage, hashtag gotta preach.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry about